Irish guy, and right, Premier League Game Week 22 is that right? Is it 23? I can't keep up. But as here are the predictions, and as always, if I don't get at least one scoreline 100% correct, I will climb up a tree and then pour a bucket of freezing cold orange juice all over my head. Right, let's go. Nottingham Forest 2, Arsenal 0. Yeah. I know that right now, Arsenal fans are chucking their bowls of Cocoa Pops across the kitchen. Hearing that some annoying gargoyle off the internet is predicting them to lose at Forest, they didn't ask for this. It's been like they're walking their children to school and suddenly the lunch lady calls them fat. Yeah, they didn't want to hear that. If they wanted to devour a bucket of chicken wings in the middle of the road, they want to be able to do so in peace. But Arsenal fans have no right to feel angry about this prediction. If this game was at the Emirates, then yeah, I would sooner agree to fight a chimpanzee than dare to tip a Forest win, because lads, Arsenal flattened Forest 5-0 twice in the last few years at home, but at the City Ground, Arsenal have lost to Forest 3 times on the bounce. Arsenal fans turning up to this stadium, they probably have a horrible case of PTSD. Poor old Robbie is probably getting sick in the car park. Honestly, if you are a travelling Arsenal fan going to this ground, be sure to watch out for the puddle of goo that smells of pizza, Weetabix, and hate for Lawrence McKenna. This is Arsenal's bogey ground. And then Nuno Espirito Santo has only had 1 home game in charge of Forest so far, and that was a famous win over Manchester United. This ground is going to be bouncing, absolutely rocking. This is going to be a scary atmosphere for the Arsenal staff, and I know Nottingham is not exactly home to a bunch of cannibalistic Vikings. Instead, it's what, a uni city filled with entitled posh brats who can't wait for the rich family's inheritance to such an extent where they're contemplating whether or not to slip cyanide into their parents' lunch. But still, I'm gonna go with a huge, massive monster performance from Forest. 2 goals from Chris Wood, and I know, I can already hear the Arsenal meltdown after the match. Honestly, I'm so sure of this, that if AFTV don't release a video after the game with Lee Gunner rant in the title, then I will sneak myself onto AFTV next season wearing a weird disguise. Just you watch. Arsenal are losing this one. Fulham 0, Everton 1. Marco Silva loves coming face to face with his old employers Everton. He regularly keeps beating them with ease. He's clearly still feeling sore at the club, biting him off like a moldy banana skin back in 2019. Now, to be fair, I know that Silva is going to do brilliant things at Fulham, and on the face of it, you might say that the Toffees were stupid to get rid. But don't forget, Everton replaced him with Carlo Ancelotti. Silva has done well at Fulham, but I don't care. That is still one of the biggest ever managerial upgrades in Premier League history. I don't care what anybody says. The Portuguese boss should feel honoured that he was the one who lost his job to Ancelotti, because he joins an illustrious list of Carlo predecessors like Zinedine Zidane, Mauricio Sarri, Pep Guardiola, Jose Mourinho, Luis Felipe Scolari, and Marcello Lippi. 2 World Cup winners in there. Anyway, look, I know that Everton have been in slightly rotten form lately, but I'm not gonna lie. Everton are just 1 Luton town away from sitting in the relegation zone and forcing me to stink of a baboon's udder for the rest of the season. And Everton were just knocked out of the FA Cup by Luton, the 2nd time this season that Luton have left Goodison Park with a 2-1 win. I'm nervous. I thought I'd escaped the milk for good. So go on, please, Dyche, just get a win. Calvert-Lewin 1-0. Luton Town 2, Brighton 3. Luton Town versus Brighton. The Nathan Jones derby. Oh, make no mistake about it, I'm sure that little Welsh David Brent is probably down his pub, making this fixture all about himself. But lads, I need little Luton to start slipping up to avoid my milky horror. But Brighton, look, they just absolutely stomped all over Sheffield United in the FA Cup. But Roberto De Zerbi's form book is now looking very Graham Potter-esque. That man was always obsessed with drawing games. He had more draws than wins as Brighton boss, and yet was still rewarded with a £15 million per year contract at Stamford Bridge. Has the world gone mad? This pattern has crept back into Brighton's game, because ever since they were shell-shocked 6-1 at Aston Villa in September, the team have since clammed up, terrified to get spanked again. And so yeah, 9 draws since then, and you know what's even stranger? All-conquering, free-flowing, goal-scoring Brighton have just played out 2 consecutive 0-0 draws in the Premier League. Yes, they're FA Cup exploits. They're winning 4-2 and 5-2 on the road, but in front of the Prem cameras, they've run out of ideas. Their spark is dimming. So it is weird that I'm tipping them to win. But go on then, Joe Pedro hat-trick. I just need a Luton loss. Crystal Palace 0, Sheffield United 0. Ugly, horrible, useless match. I'm telling you now, I know for a fact that Crystal Palace versus Sheffield United is going to be about as memorable as any episode of the Antiques Roadshow. Just a bunch of saggy old pensioners having mini strokes in German furniture. I don't know, I've never seen the show. But rest assured, this match will be so horrible and so pointless to watch. No goals. I know there'll be no goals. I'll make a deal. for every goal scored in this game, I will mash a packet of dog food into my face. I'm not even worried. I know this will be a nothing 0-0 draw. It'll be about as much fun to watch as a pig eating its own poo for tea. Aston Villa 2, Newcastle 0. Newcastle don't travel well to Aston Villa. I know this looks absolutely pond-weed stupid, because on paper, lads, Villa's last 3 trips to St James's Park have yielded 0 points and an aggregate scoreline of Newcastle 10, Aston Villa 1, and here I am tipping the Magpies to lose? Yes, because it's at Villa Park. Eddie Howe's team were absolutely spanked 3-0 here in April, which was a major clue that Unai Emery was going to cook this season. Honestly, to me, that match was the hint. In the same way for Leicester City, the season before their incredible title win, them beating Manchester United 5-3 in September 2014, that was a clue that nobody picked up on at the time that, yeah, there was something special in that Leicester squad. Lads, Newcastle have not scored a Premier League goal at Villa Park since September 2013. That is over 10 years ago. Since that 2-1 win, Newcastle have failed to score in 6 Premier League matches at this ground. Even in the Championship, yeah, it was a 1-1 draw, but still no Newcastle player on the score sheet. It was just a Tommy Elphick own goal. The last Newcastle player to score in this stadium was Johan Gouffran. That's embarrassing. In one of those games Newcastle failed to score was a game where they had to score. A 0-0 draw at bottom club Villa, which pretty much confirmed the relegation in 2016. If that's not emotionally scarring enough, Newcastle were also relegated at this ground with a 1-0 defeat in May 2009. Aston Villa also won smashed Newcastle 4-2 in 2004, which immediately forced the club to sack Sir Bobby Robson. You know, the club legend has got a statue outside the ground. Come on, Newcastle hate Villa Park. Since 1998, the Magpies have failed to score at Villa Park 12 times. Wow, just wow. So, sorry, I have to go for a Villa win here. Ollie Watkins with the double. I'm sorry, but if any person out there is tipping Newcastle to score and win, just completely ignoring history, then you've got the intelligence of a melted Twix. Lads, for every goal that Newcastle do score against Villa this week, I will eat a toothpaste sandwich. Man City 5, Burnley 0. I know I'm getting my one correct prediction right this week. I'm relaxed. I'm not second guessing myself. There's no sweaty back. I don't feel like I'm about to make a trip to the dentist who keeps yanking out people's teeth with a spoon. No, because I know at the very least I am getting this prediction right. Burnley travel to the Etihad 5-0. Burnley have lost 5-0 here 4 times since October 2018. I mean, it would have been 5-0s. Only City decided to thump Vincent Kompany's boys 6-0 instead a year ago. But yeah, sorry, it's gonna feel weird for Kompany. He's got a statue outside the stadium. This is his home, but I'm sorry. This is gonna be about as enjoyable an afternoon as if he were to watch all the Star Wars prequels in one sitting. Yeah, I mean, I'd sooner eat every page of The Hobbit. Let's make a deal. If Burnley do score at the Etihad, I will get a stranger to chuck 10 water balloons at my head. Tottenham 3, Brentford 1. Look, I know that Brentford left Tottenham's ground with a 3-1 win last May, but this is a different Tottenham. And now that they got James Maddison back from injury, I'm expecting Spurs to look like the Spurs who started the first 10 games of the season without defeat. We are about to witness a sparkling run of Tottenham form that will cement them as the ones who get Champions League football for next season. So yeah, I'd say Ivan Toney will bag a goal for the Bees, yes. But no, solid Tottenham win. Liverpool 0, Chelsea 0. I have already said that Jurgen Klopp announcing his decision to leave Anfield so soon in advance is stupid. It's not clever. He should have left this whole announcement until May, because instead of the focus being on the club's title challenge, instead it's all about his drawn out goodbye. This isn't like when Sir Alex Ferguson let his Manchester United players concentrate on winning the league in 2013. No, this is gonna be like that sickly, nauseating 6-month goodbye that Gerrard had. Liverpool are gonna drop points here, and you might think I'm talking absolute wet dung. That Chelsea, little old Chelsea, how are they gonna leave Anfield with a 0-0 draw? Am I mad? No. What are you talking about? Yes, these two started the season with a 1-1 draw at Stamford Bridge. But do not forget, these clubs' previous 4 meetings were all 0-0 draws. Neither team scored a goal against each other in 4 straight games. The League Cup final is probably going to be a 0-0 draw too. Liverpool versus Chelsea is usually a low scoring match. I mean, that bonkers 5-3 Liverpool win in July 2020, that was an anomaly. I have seen these teams play out 8 0-0 draws since 2005, so yeah, this is going to be an emotional night, but an absolutely dire, low on quality, ugly stalemate. Just you watch. It's going to be utter puke to watch. West Ham 2, Bournemouth 4. Who predicts a 4-2 away win? Me. And Andoni Iraola is going to absolutely rip David Moyes to shreds. The Scotsman is going to feel like he's just spent his evening in a dishwasher. He won't know what hit him. Look, it is bold. West Ham have beaten Bournemouth 4-0 in 2 of the last 4 meetings. The Cherries have not actually beaten the Hammers in 5 years. But so, Bournemouth are going to absolutely destroy West Ham. Dominic Solanke is going to score a hat-trick, which will mean this ex-Chelsea and Liverpool teabag will be top of the Premier League Golden Boot race, top of the goal-scoring charts. Maybe then people will start taking the Cherries seriously. Wolves 0, Man United 1. So, Marcus Rashford likes nightclubs, does he? Is that what we're persecuting him for now? What, just standing in the corner of a dark club dancing to Elton John? I mean, the guy who's tried his best to solve children hunger, doing everything but going around local schools with bags full of porridge. And yet the internet is calling him a disgrace for going to a club in Belfast on his day off? Am I the only one who's not treating these actions as if he's just been caught stabbing mice to death in a back alley behind Burger King? There's a lot worse things Rashford could have been accused of doing right now. I mean, just ask his mate Anthony. So I guess that's the huge distraction surrounding Manchester United this week. The big Hollyoaks-esque soap opera. But you know what? I actually think he's going to score the winner at Molineux. This reminds me when the tabloids tried to destroy Wayne Rooney for boxing in his kitchen. That's it. This wasn't even him cheating on his wife. This was just him having a mess around at home with Phil Bardsley. The end. Such a non-story. But yet it blew up in the media. Yeah. That weekend, he scored against Tottenham before doing a boxing celebration. So yeah, I reckon this will be a solid, good Manchester United away performance. 1-0 Rashford. And you know what? He should probably do a celebration by pretending to down a shot. Anyway, that's the video. Let me know what do you think. Let me know in the comments what are your predictions. Let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give a like, share, subscribe as always. I'll talk to you in a while.